Hi, my name is Brad Jolly, and I'm an applications engineer at Keysight Technologies. In this video, I will discuss flexible IoT device battery life analysis with the Keysight X8712.
So here's some data that's been acquired from our IoT device. And what we really want to know is, first of all, how long is my battery life? And secondly, what do I do about it? In other words, where is my current being consumed and where is my device spending its time? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to drag these markers over here so that I go from, say, the end of this cycle here to the end of this cycle here. Okay, so I've got 3 full cycles, an integer number of cycles here, which is a good thing to analyze. And what I can then do is go to my analysis table and click Analyze, and I'll get all these various statistics. And then I can enter my battery capacity in terms of amp hours. So this is 240 milliamp hours, a typical lithium ion coin cell. Click Analyze, and then down here I've got all my statistics. So this tells me that I can expect about 1260 hours of battery life there. But what it doesn't tell me is, so where is my battery being consumed and how much is it spending in each of these different modes? And that's what these zones are for. So I'm going to click on zones, and you'll see that my current waveform is split up into 10 zones. If I want more resolution, I can go all the way up to 20. If I want less, I can go all the way down to 1. Let's go down to, say, 8 zones. Okay, it's kind of arbitrary to a certain extent, but let's look at it as a matter of 8 zones. And then what I'm going to do is look at the 3 prominent features of my waveform. So I've got these RF spikes. So I'm going to call this RF spikes. And if I look at it, I see they go up above -10. So let's say from 0 to -30 is an RF spike. So anything that goes from here up to here, we're going to call an RF spike. I don't need to worry about this because anything from 0 to -30 will automatically include 0 to -10, so I don't need to worry about that. I don't have voltmeters installed in this particular system, although if I did, I could specify voltages that I want to look at. Now, the other thing I notice is that most of the time I'm in a sleep mode, which is zone 1, but sometimes I peak up to anywhere between zones 2 through 8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, my current is active between zones 2 and 8, and I'll call that active current. And I'm in a sleep mode when I'm in zone 1, so I'm going to call that sleep. Got to do it in the right order. There we go. So from zone 1 to zone 1. All right. Now I click Analyze here, and let's look at the results. So you can see about 900 millipercent of the time, in other words, 0.9% of the time, I'm in this green RF spike mode, but notice that's 31% of the current is consumed in that mode. Then I've in these active current modes just 3.5% of the time, but that's roughly 2/3 of my current consumption. And about 96% of the time I'm in this sleep mode, but that's only 3.15% of the current. And what it's doing is it's going in here and it's doing time slicing. Okay, so it's first looking for RF spikes, then it's looking for active current, then it's looking for sleep, and if there's anything left over, that goes into this other category. Now, where I can see exactly how this time slicing is working is if I go into View and I look at my chart. Okay, then I can turn on the zoom chart only. So let me turn off everything but the zoom chart. And you can see that it's using these same colors. So the tan is the sleep, the pink and green are the active current and the RF spikes respectively. And let me go ahead and zoom in a little bit so you can get a better sense of it. So let me zoom in and zoom in again. And you can see that I've got the green for the RF spikes, the pink for the active current, and then the rest of it is sleep. I can double click here. And if I zoom in over here, you'll notice that it's all sleep mode. There are no RF spikes. There is no active current. It's all in zone 1. So it's really all in what you're looking at. And again, I can double click here. And if I zoom in some more and zoom in some more and zoom in even further, in this case, it'll be pretty much all green RF spikes because that's what I've got specified in terms of my zoom levels. Now you've got a couple other charts that let you see what's happening here. So I can look at my current consumption chart, and again, that uses the same colors. My RF spikes are 30% of the current, 2/3 of the current is in this pink active current, and 3.15% is consumed in sleep modes. On the other hand, I've also can look at the time, and you'll notice that the tan, 96% of the time, is the sleep. The active current is about, 3% of the time, and less than 1% of the time is these RF spikes. So you can get insights into it in terms of either the time or in terms of the current consumed in that time. Thank you for watching.